All right, everybody. Good morning. 11:30 on Tuesday, the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to all of our American friends that are watching. And this is Coach Melissa in the gym today. And I am doing a Tuesday edition of Nutrition News because I was away yesterday for our Canadian holiday, Canada Day. I took a day and spent it with my family, and so here I am back on Tuesday, the 4th of July, ready to talk to you about tips for saving time when it comes to food prep. However, before I do, I just want to talk about a couple other things before I get started in on that. That is for our members. I want to remind you our new challenge of the month, because it is July. We're going to focus on learning more about rest and recovery. We talk a lot about the physical. We talk a lot about working out. Making sure that you're consistent in your workouts. We talk a lot about nutrition in here as well, and a lot of people tend to underestimate or ignore or forget altogether the importance of rest and recovery for your overall fitness and fat loss goals too. So we're going to talk about that this month, and we're actually going to make a challenge out of it. And the coaches here challenge our members to work at getting good quality sleep each night. We're talking an ideal would be around 7 hours of sleep each night. So that's what we are challenging our members to do. We have sleep logs that they can, like a diary that they can kind of track it on. They can use their Fitbits and screenshot it to us if they like. We're going to talk a lot this month, especially, with the summer and busy schedules and lots to fit in a short time, not forgetting about the importance of sleep, rest, recovery to your fitness and fat loss goals. That is happening all this month of July. What else is happening? We have actually 2 new promotions starting. One is at the bar, which is just down at the other end of the building from here, and one is here at FBBC. So the one at the bar is called Fit in 56. It's a Fit in 56 8-week program at the bar. It includes working out at both the bar and here actually at FBBC. It includes a customized nutrition program. It includes accountability. It includes specific fitness testing, and it includes a pretty sweet party at the end. That is all beginning in a couple weeks. There have been a number of posts go out about that. There has been some advertising around that. Fit in 56 at the bar. The bar is separate from FBBC in its programming, so it has barbells with plates. Has more of a heavier lifting focus than what we do here at FBBC. Completely different programming. If you're not familiar with the bar and you'd like more information, you can either comment here. I see that Coach Chelsea is watching this right now, so you can comment here and she'll see it. You can message us, and you can message the bar as well. So we will definitely hook you up if you're interested in learning more about that. Just let us know. And we also have a 28-day promotional program starting here at FBBC as well in about a week's time. Advertising for that has just started. You probably have seen that already this morning. If you're interested in joining us as a new member for a 28-day trial, let us know and we will hook you up into that promotion as well, which is also starting in the month of July. So we have lots of things happening, lots of ways to keep you on track through the summer months. A lot of people tend to think maybe they can take a break in the summer, take a bit of a fitness vacation in the summer, and that's one way to look at it. Other people feel that this is the most important time to stay on track because of all of the temptations and all of the reasons that you could go off track. So if that's the way you're thinking, we have a number of different ways to help keep you on track. 2 new promotions just this month alone. So let us know if you want more on that. Another way that a lot of people get off track in the summer is with their nutrition. So we are going to talk about food prep and tips for saving time when you're doing it. So one question that comes up with all of our members and even non-members when we do see some people posting their food prep or talking about food prep is, where do you find the time? Right? Where do you find the time to do all of this food prep? I know I had a member in here who's going back to work from her mat leave, and last week she was saying that she spent a number of hours in the kitchen, and her mom's visiting, so she was grateful to have the assistance of her mom. But if her mom's not there, how is she going to find the time to do all of this? And this is a struggle because we all have commitments. We have jobs, we have responsibilities. Some people have kids, some people have They travel, right? So how do we work on time management? We know that you've time managed yourself as much as you can, to barely having any free time for yourself. You time manage your work, you time manage time for workouts, you put aside time to spend with your family, your friends, your loved ones. The last thing you want to do with your 1 hour of free time that you've allowed yourself is food prep. So how can we manage this? The thing is, though, of all the daily commitments that we make each day, we tend to forget that the most important is the one you make to yourself, right? That's usually the one that falls by the wayside when we're making all of these time commitments and budgeting time for everything, is making time for ourselves. So the commitment to exercise, the commitment to eat right, the commitment to drink enough water, the commitment to get enough sleep, that's usually the one that we struggle with. So trying to focus on carving out time for that is something that we need to remember to do. As far as teaching you how to make that commitment, that's not really something I can teach you, is how to commit. That's something that you have to want, and you have to know why it's important. I can certainly give you some suggestions on how to make it easier, and that's what I'm going to do now. But you have to want it in order for it to happen. So there are some tips, there are some tricks on how you can save time for food prep and not spend all day, especially all day in this beautiful weather, inside cooking food. Let's go over some of them. 1, chop veggies a couple times, only a couple times throughout the week. Okay, so we've talked about it before. Healthy habits include eating veggies every time you eat. That's a lot of veggies. And I'm not talking about, eating 2 baby carrots and that's it for your veggies at the meal. I'm talking about a cup or two, roughly, a cup or two of veggies each time that you eat. So from now on, when people are watching what you're eating, if you're eating according to fitness and fat loss goals, you kind of want people to say, wow, like if you keep eating all those veggies, you're going to turn into a veggie. Or, wow, you eat a lot of veggies. You want people to notice that. So this requires a lot of veggies. It is best to chop your veggies, soon before eating them, that's how they retain the most nutrients, maintain the most nutrient value. However, if you're pressed for time and you find that you're not getting enough veggies, don't just skip them all together. If it's going to be that happens, let's try to work around it. Your next best strategy would be to chop up half of the weekly veggies at the beginning of the week. Like as soon as you get home from grocery shopping, maybe too, might work, and then save some for later in the week when you run out. So maybe you do it Sunday, which would last you till about Wednesday, and then, or whenever you have the time, whatever night or day works best for you to do that. Chop the rest when you're done eating the first half 3 to 4 days later. You can put these veggies in, big Ziploc freezer bags or some kind of container, Tupperware glass container. You can separate them by day, like what day you need them, have them all portioned out for each day. You can separate them by type, so you have all of your carrots together and all of your individual veggies together. Green peppers go in one bag, red peppers in another. It really depends on what works best for you, but those are some tips. By doing this, just this one thing, you'll cut down on some of your food prep time consistently. And you'll increase your veggie intake. You can use these chopped up veggies in things like stir fries and omelets, salads, either right away or later in the week. Having a wide variety of pre-cut veggies is just grab and go away, right? It's in a Tupperware, it's in a bag. You can take them to work. Even if they're frozen, you can pull them out, first thing in the morning, and then maybe by lunch they're thawed out, ready to go, whether you're at work or at home. Okay, this doesn't just work for veggies, this also works for fruit as well. You can do the same thing with fruit. Pineapple, mango, peaches, nectarines, oranges, strawberries can all be pre-cut. Another alternative is to use frozen fruits, right? Frozen fruits or veggies, and kind of portion them out, baggie them, Tupperware them out in the same way, and then just pull them, grab them, and go. Regardless of which strategy you use, working to remember that 1 to 2 cups or fistfuls of veggies every day is what's recommended. Okay? What's another tip on how you can save time when you're doing food prep is to pre-cook your proteins. So another great way to save time, a little message on my phone there. Good. To save time in the kitchen is to pre-cook your protein for the week, or again for 3 to 4 days at a time. So maybe you have an indoor like a countertop grill, or maybe you have a barbecue, or whatever, however you do it. These are good ways that you can create or cook up big batches of chicken, turkey, sausage, burgers, whatever it is. You can do this on the same day that you do your shopping, if that's what works for you, or you know, at the same time that you're chopping veggies, perhaps you're also cooking some protein as you go, and then refrigerate them as you need them, or just whenever, you know, a couple days or a couple times a week, if that's what works for you, and then just reheat it in whatever way you need to. Makes food prep a lot easier. So there's two options. We've got our veggies, we've got our protein. And I'm not saying it has to be done 2 times a week. I know I've talked about that so far, but for some too, it happens every evening when they're already cooking. If they're already at the stove, or they're already, you know, chopping veggies for a specific meal, they just chop more, or they just cook more, and then they portion it out and they have it for the rest of the week. So that's another option too. How else can you save time with food prep? Make big batches. So this is kind of what I was getting at just a minute ago. So make big batches of things like stir fry or chili, or you know, things that you would normally make, you could make in bulk. Just do that, and then pour soups. You could portion it out and then have it, again, able to grab and go. 2 types of meals that can easily pre-cooked in their entirety and heated up again are various types of stir fries and chilies. So try cooking up some of that for dinner once, maybe twice a week. And if you cook a big enough batch, you'll get enough for dinner, and then for leftovers for lunch or for dinner. Or maybe, you know, if you put it away and freeze it for a week or 2 from now. So that'll work too. Get personal size Tupperware. Yes, so this is a great idea. A lot of people, you know, they've got the big Tupperware bowls, or, you know, containers that you would take to a potluck, you know, with your big items in it. But get individual size ones. And in the summer, back to school shopping time is a great time to load up on this. They usually have it on sale for kids' lunches. So great time to get it is now. And you can get this anywhere. You can get this in any store. You can even get it in the dollar store. All different types and sizes, you know, whether it's for salad, whether it's for berries, whether it's for veggies, whatever. I got these ones. I'm going to show you. I got these ones on Amazon, and I actually got these for my kids for their lunches, but I use it for myself as well. So it's kind of like a bento box in a way. So you're going to see my food here a little bit. So I've got some cherry tomatoes, and I've got some chicken in there as well that I've been snacking on throughout the day. And again, I got these on Amazon a few years ago now, and they've held up. I think I got a package of 6 or 8 is what it came with. Just get yourself your own individual size Tupperware, whatever that looks like, or a whole big, you know, container of Ziplocs. Fill them up with leftovers, you know, or your food prep as you make it. Put it in the fridge, put it in the freezer, grab and go. You won't, and this kind of, you know, works with portion control. So you're not going to have too much, you're not going to have too little. Kind of helps with portion control that way as well. Yeah. Another tip. Eat wraps instead of salads. And there's different ways you can look at this. There's all different kinds of wraps you can get, including lettuce wraps. Eating sandwiches is kind of a standard for a lot of people. It's kind of everybody's lunch standby. But keep in mind, sandwiches are often pretty low in protein and veggies, and a little bit high, or a lot high, in processed carbs. So one alternative to that is to use the wrap, stuff the wrap with some of your pre-cooked protein and your cut up veggies that you've already done earlier in the week that we've already talked about, and you have a pretty great meal for lunch on the go. It's portable, it works well. Put it in one of your new fun Tupperware, and that's another thing. Get fun Tupperwares. Get fun ones that you're excited to use, and lose if you're in my family, but excited to use. When you open the fridge, you know, they're excited. Get fun colors, get different, get, you know, patterns, get whatever. Yeah, so putting your wraps in one of these, fairly portable, easy to go, grab and go, and it's got a lot more protein and veggies in it than perhaps a sandwich would. Right. Use blenders and shaker bottles. So by that, this is more when it comes to having a protein shake or a super shake on the go. So that's an option as well. If you don't have a blender at work though, or on the go, what could you do instead? Well, there's a few things you could do. So when it comes to a protein shake or a super shake, you can put a lot of stuff in there. You can put protein powder, you can put Greek yogurt, you can put fruit, you can put nuts, you can put nut butter, blend that all up. So you could do that. So get yourself a blender or get yourself a shaker bottle to do all of that with. Take them, pre-blend them at home, and then take them with you. Have them in the car. Maybe that's something that you have on the way to work if you have the time to do that. If you have a fridge at work, store it in the fridge. That's the simplest and the easiest method. The second option would be to get, like a personal size, like a NutriBullet or a Magic Bullet, or any of these little handheld blenders, personal size blenders, and set it up at work if they're cool with that. Some will be, some may not be, may create a bit of a spectacle or just not be possible, and that's fine if it's not. And then a third option is to pre-chop all of the ingredients that you would take, like your nuts, maybe your oats, maybe your hemp or your flax seeds. Store them in bags, right? And then when you're on the run or when you're busy, put all of that already pre-chopped stuff into the blender and just add the wet ingredients and go. And I know we have some members that do that here. They make all of their stuff up ahead of time, their smoothie jars or their blender bags or whatever, and have that all portioned out. And then each day or each morning they grab the bag, they dump it into the blender or the NutriBullet or whatever it is, add their wet, whether it's water or almond milk or Greek yogurt or whatever, add their protein powder, blend it and go. So it's not as much food prep because a lot of that pre-chopping has already been done. So that's another option too. And then you can grab it and go. You could also chop some of that stuff up and just have your protein powder and water and have your produce with your shake on the side. So that's another option too, to help you get a quick meal when you're on the go. So these are just some tips to kind of help make this go a little bit easier, make food prep not take as much time. I'm always curious to hear yours. So if you've got some great food prep time saving tips, I'd love to hear them. Yeah, there's a number of ways you can do it. There's a number of resources for you. There's a number of, you can get cookbooks that, that advocate, quick, fast, easy. Just make sure that the recipes are still, helping you meet your fitness and fat loss goals. And it's the same thing when you go to the restaurant. You can have all the food prep, done for the majority of the week, but sometimes you're going to go out. Sometimes you're going to go out and you're going to want to eat off of a menu. You're going to want to eat out of a restaurant or, at somebody's house. And how can you stick with that, with these goals, your fitness and fat loss goals, while still working on your healthy habits? And so looking at the menu, you're just going to want to find your protein and your veggies. And most restaurants will have several compliant meals on the menu. You may just have to look a little bit harder for them, or you may have to put some stuff together to make your own. Those that don't have those, easily available menu items are pretty good about helping you, maybe put some sides together, do some substitutions, ordering a lean protein source with some veggies, sometimes even a double order of veggies, like can I substitute, this fries for veggies, or, if you don't want the potatoes, can I have a double order of veggies instead? Minimally processed starchy carbs and healthy fats of your choice. So that's pretty much your tip and trick for when you go out and stay on track. Look for your lean source of protein. Can you get veggies, maybe even double veggies, minimally processed carbs, and a good source of healthy fat? That's what you're looking for no matter when you're eating. If you are eating on the go, that's just kind of a side bar on how to do that. Today I've given you a number of great time-saving strategies for having good nutrition, eating on the go, when you're busy. Everyone's busy to a certain degree, so how can you make this work? Yeah, you can make it work. You may spend less than 30 minutes a day on it if you do it consistently, and if you do it, using these time-saving tips. So if you have any to share, feel free to comment below on what works for you as well. That's really all I have for today. At the beginning of this Facebook live cast, I talked about a couple new promotions that are coming up here and at the bar next door. So if you're interested in hopping in on those, I suggest that you get on that fairly soon. I will be back next week talking about another nutrition news topic. If you have one specifically you would like me to address, please, by all means, let me know what that is too, and I'll add it to the list. Other than that, I think that's it for today. Happy 4th of July to our American friends. Welcome back to all of our Canadian friends getting back into routine. I hope to see you guys, my members, in the gym momentarily for the 12:15 session. And if not, then I will see you later this week. Bye, everybody.